Greetings to everyone, and this is the first experiment in our case tools lab that we have. As you can see, our first question is regarding to construct the basic structure of a library management system, where we have given these following functionalities. As you can see, there is a particular user over here, and there is a librarian over here. Both of them have different privileges. The user will have an account through which he can log in and check the availability of a particular book. And through login, there's a function called enter credentials. So to log in, we need some credentials like username and password. So those are the credentials that are required. So they can check the availability of the book. They can issue book from library, and they request for a magazine which they want. Now the functions of the librarian are they this availability that is checked is received by the librarian. So if a particular book is checked, and suppose if it is there, the librarian registers it under this particular user. And he also tends to check the due, and he also check the due of the particular user that is there. As you can see, people tend to bunk all these fares. So for this particular thing, we have a particular find function that is there, which extends from the check dues function, which basically what it does is it checks the fine imposed on this particular customer. Next, we have new orders from this librarian. So the user request for a magazine, and in this process he types his username password, and if he forgets the password, he can there are some other functions. So issue book from library. So the librarian, what he does is he can purchase more magazines for this particular library that he's running. This is the first exercise in this particular experiment. That is the first experiment where we are supposed to illustrate how my library management system is working. The second one is uh, bank balance checking, bank account simulation, not simulation, we could say a structure, a static structure. Now, here in this particular bank management system, we have a customer as well as a banker. The customer will have an account through which he can check his balance amount, through which he can deposit money and which he can withdraw money. All these functions are subjected to an account number through which all these functions are done. So, so any of these functions that are there, suppose if money is deposited, it is supposed to be added to the current account, current money that is there. If money is withdrawn, it is supposed to be subtracted from this particular thing. So all these functions are done by the banker that is there over here. Now the banker is also responsible for the loans and the taxes levied on transactions. So the banker has all the account details, and he checks the balance is more than zero. So this particular banker, what he does is he can use this particular balance so as to provide loans for other customers, as well as provide loans for this particular customer, keep in an account what all loans he has. So the banker, what he does is he calculates the cumulative interest, and if there are appropriate values, he stores the value in a table, and he calculates the daily interest, and he sets the table to zero. The same way cumulative interest is calculated, and the cumulative table is set to zero. So doing all this, what happens is there are some taxes that are levied on the customer, which are subtracted thereby from the account. So this is our first experiment.